Hello, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Delinks video. Honestly, I do not have to play this game as obsessively as I do, but I do. I do. Again, I really had to start talking about things that I don't want to talk about right now because I'm getting my ass kicked for not doing it. That's just how things are right now. And as terrified as I am of discussing certain things, being perfectionist about it isn't helping either. I know, I said at the end of the last video that certain things are making me uncomfortable, but I have to do it anyway, and I'm sure some people might be questioning why I would say something like this. And it's because to heal, it's not really going to help me to, not go into things that make me uncomfortable. To heal, you kind of have to go through a bit of discomfort sometimes. And I'm being forced to overcome that. Oh, and by the way, I know a lot of people are skeptics of astrology, and I'm not going to tell you it's science because I don't have evidence that it is. But I know that astrology works for me. May not necessarily work for everyone, but for me it does. And that's not scientific, but you have to admit that at some point, what is a coincidence? Let me just start with that. Like, if I went into the details of my chart and why I believe in astrology, I would be doing a full chart analysis. There would be so many there'd be a lot of elaborate interpretations. And a lot of people would be wondering, that's a coincidence. That's a coincidence, right? And a lot of people would obviously think it's a coincidence that so many things line up so well. Okay. Well, quite frankly, I understand your skepticism. I would never tell someone to believe what I'm saying just because I think it. But I do think that when it comes to my experiences, there comes a time when it's not just a coincidence. Because it's so elaborate, so if it is accurate and it fits me, then after a point, sure, you can say it's a coincidence, but I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going through a transit, and if you don't like astrology or believe in it, then I'm going to tell you the basics. What you have to know about this transit is it's telling me to change. It's telling me that certain things about my personality, my self, has to change. And it might be uncomfortable, but I have to do it. Or I'm going to be forced to through circumstances that are not comfortable, that are even worse, because I'm refusing to change. And I'm not. And that seems to be exactly what's happening. And a lot of people in the astrology community will even go so far as to say, okay, but you're talking about a transit involving a generational planet. Which, okay, fine, if you don't use those, that's okay. But I mean, when it comes to a generational planet, that's Uranus is making a conjunction to my sun. Astrologically speaking, that's basically what I'm saying. I'm being asked to change. I'm no longer who I once was. So to be more authentic, more of who I truly am. My true expression needs to be something else than what it has been. Uranus is forcing that on me because that's the kind of thing that it does. That's the kind of energy that it brings. And a fun fact, Uranus is the only planet that's going to make a conjunction to all of my personal planets within my lifetime. Neptune might come close, but I don't think I don't know. We'll see. Though Pluto is, it's not a planet anymore. At least that's what scientists say. But then they're going to go and call it a dwarf planet. Okay. A dwarf planet. Pluto has been demoted. Okay. Well, a dwarf planet has planet in its name. That just means a dwarf planet. But a dwarf planet is still being described as a planet. So you can demote Pluto all you want, but get your terminology straight if Pluto really is not a planet to you. Anyway, I'm just sitting here like, I'm talking about things that a lot of people don't really get. Yes, I do want to know. Surprisingly, Ubel is at level 10. So I guess they're feeling merciful today. That's not going to last long. But anyway, that's beside the point. Today, yes. Today, according to, I don't understand time. Maybe we should just... Okay, so at 12 a.m., that is apparently the next day. Okay, that part, okay. A bit weird, but alright, fine. But, let's get one thing straight. You go from 11 a.m. to 11... You go from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. I think you guys understand where I'm getting. Because I am not saying it right, but this is kind of what the point is to begin with. You go from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then 1 p.m. And then there are people that argue that this makes sense. I don't understand you. I don't understand how it makes sense. And I've never understood. So maybe 24 hours is the best way to go about it. Just a 24-hour clock, teach it to everyone, teach it to all students. Probably wait until they're at least 10 though. You know, so they're forced to tell you what time it is. You know what, there was something I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. It was something like, I don't even know what it was called, whatever. Well, that duel was interesting. Although I must... Some weird shit always happens when I see your bell. I don't know why, but it just seems to be the case. Yeah. I mean, no one's getting hurt or anything, but still, weird shit seems to happen around you, Belle. Weird shit seems to happen around me in general. Just saying. I never really understood how you can go from numerological order, but be like, you're changing from PM to AM. Dude, it just drives me crazy. Dude, what? Dude. It drove me nuts as a child as well, and also, I didn't really understand growing up that Sunday is the first day of the week. I couldn't understand that either, but that actually makes more sense. Okay, I'm not sure I get it even now, but it makes more sense when we consider the clock, at least. I'm not going to say that the days of the week don't make sense, but the clock, you're really going to defend that? Because I sure as hell do not think you have an argument to be made. But sure, people are going to defend the clock because, oh, it's like this for this reason or that reason. Okay, but I think that I'm not the only person that gets confused by that. There's actually a video on YouTube called I Fixed the Clock. Honestly, that video is hilarious and probably shouldn't be taken too seriously, but I feel like that video exists for a reason. Oh, and by the way, that person also has a video called I Fixed the Calendar. And their first video that I ever saw was I fixed chess. Or I upgraded it, I guess was the updated. It was an updated version of chess, which I thought was hilarious. But to be fair, I think the original is still better. Which is not always true, to be honest. And my biggest criticism of chess is I just forget the difference between the king and the queen. I forget the difference every time. You know, I don't even play chess. But chess is more connected to this game than you think. Because Kaiba played it. And he won. Against a grown adult as an orphan. And that is the history of how Kaiba started his billionaire career. But Kaiba's life is just nuts, dude. Like, I don't know how old he is, and I went to GX World. I can't go to GX World. I'm in GX World, but sure. Alright, yeah, this is... I try to make sense, but quite frankly, I just never do. And when I try to defend myself as making sense, I'm just like, okay, but that's not... I don't think that I've got a point to actually be made here. Okay, so the next episode is unlocked after July 16th. At 1 a.m. Hold on a second. What are these time gates? What? Okay, so... Well, interesting. Now, there is a reason I went through all of these, and I'm like, what? Today was day 1 of the event. Apparently, there's actually... The time gate isn't that bad this time around. Now, I'm sure they do that for all reruns, to be honest. They, reduce the amount of time... They reduce the number of times you have to duel someone as well during the rerun. I found out, which rerun was this? I think it was Anna's. Yeah, it was probably Anna's. I'm just making an assumption here. it's an educated assumption. It could be wrong, but I mean, still. Okay. Speaking of Anna, I still have whatever. I'll update her deck later. And now when I'm done working on 3's deck, I have to consider who else I'm working on. And I started working on 3's deck because I'm not sure who else benefits from that Gorgonic monster I wanted. I think his deck benefits because he actually has the cards to benefit most from it. Which is why I assume it's in that box with his monsters. Though Quattro's some of Quattro's monsters are in there too. Yeah, no, I guess because they're related. Then when I look at them, I'm just like, are they related? Probably. Why am I judging? I don't know. I guess I just look at them and I'm like, Quattro looks different from his other family members. But then why does that matter? Because their father is no longer an adult. And I imagine that must be very difficult to explain. Yeah, very difficult to explain. Dude, didn't I say I was done with... Okay, fine. I guess I changed series then. Anyone interested in Zexal now that I've spoiled some of it for you? A lot of people hate on Zexal. I actually used to be one of them. But because of that, I actually gave 7s a chance. Because I'm like, oh god. But then I remembered my response to Zexal. And I loved it. So, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give 7s a chance. And this must be about Joey's card. Okay, do I have to duel someone who is related to Red? Guys, guess who I'm dueling? I swear if this doesn't count, that'd be dumb, but I think I did this the first time too. Dude, why am I changing to GX World for this? Well, it'd probably be better than a mirror match, but whatever. Okay, I'm not going to bother changing worlds again. I keep doing this, just going to GX World instead. Whatever, it doesn't really matter which one, right? A duelist related to Red. Konami, if this... I think I did this last time when it counted. It better count. He was still wearing that jacket in the Bonds Beyond Time movie. That's the main part of the movie I remember. Why is that the biggest part of the movie I remember? Good question. Because I know that how I don't know, guys. It's just it's the main part I remember. Maybe because it's just weird that you're still wearing your Skull's jacket after you graduated. He didn't look much older though, so maybe it was. Dude, what? Okay, fine. Anyway, I watched the Bonds Beyond Time movie, but I wasn't very attached to it. Though Paradox doesn't care. Yeah, I'm just saying, Paradox doesn't give two shits what I think. He's coming to DX World next. And then in DM World, I guess I'll just have to duel him. I'll duel him as Yami-Yugi because I don't feel like changing characters. I don't feel like changing characters. I'm taking my time with a DM world because it's the original, and I'm kind of just like, I don't care what came first. Well, okay, yes I do. I do care because that's the reason this is a franchise. But although I care, I'm just thinking to myself, guys, this is a franchise. Stop caring about just DM World, okay? No, I'm not trying to accuse people of only caring about DM World. This isn't a Duel Links related conversation. Oh god. This is a conversation related to all of the DM related purists that only care about DM. Though some people care about everything up to 5D's world. I mean 5D's. Okay, now I understand personal preferences, but when you hate on the other series, that doesn't make it just an opinion. That means you're just shitting on things that other people love. Don't do that. It's bad for everyone. And now I admit I am not perfect, but even though I am not perfect, I think that I have started to see the ways of not just criticizing someone else's things and what they love. You don't know how much value something has for someone, even if you don't like it. You just don't know how much it has changed their life or how much impact it had on them. You just don't know that information. By the way, Sevens didn't change my life, but it did make me feel it made me feel validated. It made me feel more validated than most people on the planet. And it isn't humanity's job to validate me, but I do feel like I feel like a planetary outcast, guys. So you know what? A Go Rush is awesome. I definitely like it. The only criticism I have of it so far is, you don't have to be from Earth to, well, I mean, I like the main protagonist, but come on, dude. Can you be a little less of a cinnamon roll for 2 seconds, please? I mean, seriously. I mean, I just got mad in that one episode where someone took advantage of his trust. And I'm just like, someone is taking advantage of his trust? How dare he do that? This guy was annoying before, but then at that point, he just became a total bastard to me. For taking advantage of the protagonist's trust. And anyway, I like Go Rush, but I also like the fact that it fits what I wanted before it was even announced. I can't actually say that with credibility because I thought it was unrealistic to ask for it, so I never mentioned I wanted it. This is barely better. I need something in the graveyard. I'm going to revive Elemental Hero Ocean. I probably should have revived Stratos instead. I didn't realize that I had him in the graveyard. Why? No. Oh my god, how evil of you. And actually, this hand is better than the one that Bakura just made me discard. Oh my god. Dude, I even have shadows in my hand. I was just talking about probably shouldn't. I was just saying I should have probably brought him back instead. But then Bakura's just like, you have to Bakura, can you stop trying to... Never mind. Though I must be honest. I don't think he's taking, tips from Yuto. I think Yuto just stole the idea from Bakura. Because, Bakura existed first. Yes, that's... You guys know that's utter bullshit. You guys know what I just said is utter bullshit, because that's not what I... It's not what I said when I was talking about, some other characters taking tips from Yuto that also came first. Yeah, that's not what I said. But I don't know. I'm weird, guys, we know. I'm getting rid of your cards, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, and if you try to win, you're just going to deck out, so I hope I can take care of that for you. Yeah, you know, it's very important that I do this, you understand, right? I mean, you may be Yugi's friend, but losing on purpose is just not my style. Usually, it's not. I did do it once, I can't remember the context. There was one reason that I didn't. Still can't remember which context it was. A fiend. Okay. Who do I who counts for this? I'm going to duel Yami Bakura. Win one duel against a duelist who is related to Fiend type. You know, there is nothing more related to Fiend type than being a Fiend type monster. I wonder if Duel Links cares. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this video. In the next video, we're going to find out if Duel Links cares about someone being a Fiend type monster.